Welcome to Kinwomen ALOUD, where good conversation counts. Welcome to Kinwomen ALOUD. Hello, I'm Penny, and joining me today are your Kinwomen friends. We have the fabulous Kelley Chisholm.
There we go.
Kelley is that overseas aid development specialist. That's you, Kel.
That's
focusing on women. She's also a celebrant, so does marriages and funerals and lots of things public. But she also has a chocolate brown Labradoodle called Theo, who will run away if that crack in the door appears.
He will create that crack in the door.
He will create that crack in the door. We also have the glorious Rose Parker, singer-songwriter, storyteller, OT.
Hello.
In her own private practice. She has a huge Labradoodle called
Groodle. He's a Groodle. I've got the Labradoodle.
He's a Groodle. Sorry about that. Called Hudson or Huddo. He's a true gentleman. Makes me smile.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah. And yes, I'm Penny, that person who leads a not-for-profit organisation right now, offering services to those people who are vulnerable in our community, helping them keep their independence and find that home and get set up. And I think that's a real privilege. I currently have no dog.
No.
But I have had dogs. But I do have a rescue cat called Mizzy. She did come to us as Lizzo, and I went, nah, that's not going to happen. And it has to begin with the letter M. All our cats begin with the letter M. So Mizzy made its way to the top of the list, but beware her claws. They never go in. But anyway, we're going to have a little chat first of all. It's kind of like, I guess the question is, what's grabbed your attention lately? So, what's grabbed your attention lately, Rose?
Oh, I'm very aware the season's changing. It's getting a little bit cooler. I love that, pulling out different jackets and boots, and I'm thinking about pulling out the slow cooker. Oh. It's coming into that season. I'm getting curious about cooking some new things.
Oh my goodness.
I know that's deep. I know it's profound.
It is profound.
But I just love a slow cooked
Pop it on in the morning.
Yeah, it's great. Ticks all the boxes. Don't you love coming into the house with those smells?
I remember hearing about it. I've just never done it.
What?
I've actually got one. I have got one.
Oh, Kel, you're a scream.
That's because she doesn't cook.
I've never, ever put anything into it. So perhaps
we need to teach you a couple of recipes.
She's got a couple of recipes.
The slow cooker will revolutionise your cooking.
I've got a mixer. I've never got that out either. I've got a, what do you call them? The fryer.
Air fryer does.
Never done that either.
Okay.
Have you got an air fryer?
Got an air fryer.
Do you just buy boxes and leave them unpacked in your kitchen so that your children go, maybe Mum's starting to cook?
Trying to create some optimism in the home, but anyway.
I love it. You keep working on that. Stay curious, Kel.
Put it out on the counter. They might actually use it.
Funny, very funny.
Okay, so you're into what, Kel?
Oh, that is great though. That is great. I'd love to think I'm going to kind of maybe pull that out in this season of life. But, no.
What's grabbed your attention?
Look, I have got 2 grandchildren who never cease to amuse me. I love their stories. But this, recently, this week, I had the 2 of them. One's a 5-year-old girl, nearly 7-year-old grandson, who is incredibly kind and thoughtful. Anyway, his sister's telling me, his gorgeous sister Daisy is telling me about she won an award at school. And this award was, she got a certificate. She's telling Oscar with great, aplomb. And he says, what did you get it for? So she says, I got it for being kind. And I got it for being curious. And I got it for being enthusiastic. And he says, wow, 3 things. I've never got a certificate for all 3 things. So he's giving her a lot of encouragement.
Oh, my goodness.
He's saying to her, that's amazing, Daisy.
Are they in the back of the car?
They're in the back of the car.
Yeah,
I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
And I can hear this conversation. That's amazing, Daisy. How wonderful. You've got it for all 3 things. And she's smiling and I can see her feeling very happy with herself. Then she says to him, well, it's the first time I've got it, Oscar, but I've done it before. I've been really kind in the classroom and the teacher's never noticed. And I've been working really hard and she's never given me a certificate. And she's telling him and she says, I went up to the teacher and I said to her, I've been really kind. I'm working hard. The teacher said, well, I haven't noticed, Daisy, but I'll keep my eyes out. At which point she's telling Oscar this. He says, Daisy, that's integrity.
Oh, my gosh.
He goes, that's integrity. Doing the right thing when no one's looking. And Daisy, that's what we want to be. People of integrity.
So they weren't fighting over the tiny teddies.
Oh,
They're having
no.
this deep.
Okay, let's get some context here. The age of Oscar is
7. She said.
He's not 7. He's 7 next month. But he
he's
says
6. That's what I was
Then
thinking.
he says to her, he says, you know what, Daisy, there's going to be times no one notices and you're doing the right thing, but you've got to do it for yourself. You've got to do it for yourself.
Who is this child?
And when other people notice, he said, that's just the extra. I'm glad you got, but and I am listening thinking, this is actually out of control in my backseat of my car. But you know what? That's worth talking about, isn't it?
I think that's worth talking about.
Adorable.
What is he going to do with that kind of wisdom?
I don't know what he's going to do.
Oh, no, I think it's fabulous.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Well, that's all about the parents, right?
Yeah, I told them, I
they're
actually have
fabulous
said to them
parents.
even a couple of weeks ago, something else happened. I said, you're doing a fantastic job.
Good job.
Raising
Wow.
2 young people who adore each other, look after each other, and share life wisdom.
Wow.
I tell you what I've been thinking about is I was remembering a few months ago, all 3 of us put on some a bit of glitter and glad rags and went to a Divas hit night with Amanda D. And I don't think I've danced so much for years. We danced our little hearts
My
and
legs
legs
were
off.
actually sore.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we danced like every song. Like, can I just say? But you know what? I actually got to thinking about how much I love dancing. I don't do enough of it. I don't like formal dancing. I just like, just expression.
Free dancing.
Free, like upbeat, kind of.
Like Elaine on Seinfeld.
Yes, absolutely. But
she does it all.
dancing is so much more than just movement, It's therapy. It lifts your mood.
Yeah.
Strengthens those legs of yours, Kel. Keeps you feeling, I think it keeps you feeling young. Can I just say that?
Well, of course it does. And the research shows that when you contract muscles, when you relax and contract muscles, your muscles release molecules that stimulate serotonin. So it actually, that's why it makes us happy. So it's actually the process of your muscle. People think it was just exercise, but it's actually your muscles contracting and relaxing.
Yeah.
And one researcher said, we've actually got our own pharmacy in our muscles, and all you've got to do is move. Whether
activate
it's
it.
lift weights, run, walk, horse ride, dance, anything. Happy humans when we move.
Yeah, beautiful.
What a great little thought.
Yeah.
That's easy, right? If you get to it, it's
Fantastic.
easy.
Okay, well, that's a little bit about us. Yeah. We're actually going to have a conversation about a fabulous word called curiosity. Let's have a conversation, Rose, Kelley, around a fabulous word, curiosity. Listen, we've introduced our pets today, and it got me thinking about that saying that says curiosity killed the cat, which emerged in the late 19th century. But there's often another added phrase to that, which I didn't know until I kind of investigated. And it was this: curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Which can suggest that whilst curiosity can lead to trouble, it can also lead to rewarding discoveries. Anyway, I love that. I love that thought. But I also love what Elizabeth Gilbert said. She's an outstanding person. And she said this: we often hear about passion, but it's a temporary, fleeting fire that can burn out just as quickly as it ignites. Curiosity, however, is a deeper and more enduring drive. It's a quiet but constant force that is available to us every single day. It taps us on the shoulder and says, hey, what is that? Mm-hmm. And I love that. So what's your understanding of curiosity? Let's have a chat about it. What's your understanding, Kel?
I know. I really think that's become isn't it? We come from an age of certainty. That was the age of science, right? And these things are not in competition with each other. But I think what curiosity says is there's still more to be known. There's still more to understand. It's a humble posture. It's a stance that says, I actually don't know it all. And it's inquisitive. So whether you're looking for science answers, whether you're looking to understand people, whether you're looking to understand nature, whether you're actually understanding yourself, curiosity for me is the capacity to ask great questions and listen and wait. Because you're not actually just asking to get a specific answer. You're actually just going, I just seek to understand. So for me, that's curiosity. It's opening yourself up.
Yeah.
To actually think there is more, a lot more than what I've got a grip on.
Yeah. Rose, curiosity for you?
Absolutely. Curiosity serves me strongly in two ways. Firstly, what you just was referring to, Kel, and I've said earlier, when I don't know something, it propels me towards finding it. I love that. I love constantly learning. I'm always reading 2 books at the one time.
Me too.
One is fun and novel, and the other will be usually around personal growth development. Well, my hubby reads history, It's like I want to know where, why, for, how-tos that I don't know yet. And the other place where curiosity is super important to me is obviously in my creative practice, in songwriting. That will never dry up. You have different seasons of writing, but curiosity, and it's often it might be a word pen. Just a word might drop in.
Oh, yeah.
But I get a certain feeling associated with that, and then I will press into that. I'll become curious about what that is. And it will often be something that I'm wrestling or reckoning with inside, while also observing people around me do the same thing. And then I'll go into my writing block and explore that even more. But it takes that feeling of curiosity and wanting to know.
I really like you saying that, because I think you're so right, is that curiosity does mean that because I wonder as an artist person or someone who wants to do something new, where you keep getting that inspiration from. And I reckon you're so right. If it's curiosity, if you've got that posture of looking out, like what could be, you hear a word and you think, I'm going to follow down that rabbit trail for a while.
Absolutely.
That rabbit hole. Let me just explore. I think it would really help the whole process.
I talk about it. I run songwriting retreats. We talk about our songwriting antenna. So they're up all the time, and anyone that writes would know this. You both write. You will hear a phrase. It might be in a movie. It might be in a book. Sometimes it's in a coffee shop, and I'll hear someone else say something and it makes me go, like there'll be a quick what is, and then I want to know, why has that impacted me? So then I'll start to move into that. I'm writing a song at the moment. It's called The Reckoning. I went, what's The Reckoning? And I started researching what that is. And when I started reading that descriptions of it, it was like, oh, that's why I've been led to that word. So then there's a lovely unraveling and unpacking and a discovering of both my inner world and external world, and then crafting that into a song is my great joy. So, yeah.
I think it is a stance, though. If I think about myself, to me, there's 2 ways that I keep curious. One is by listening, because I'm a listener rather than a reader.
Yeah.
I'm a listener. I mean, short things. I don't think I read a book without pictures in it until my mid-20s. I did poetry I loved.
Whereas I read from 7.
Yeah, see, I was never a reader. I gleaned through experience, by doing, by words, by watching. That was how I kept curious. And today that's still the main way that I keep curious and learn. So personal, as I love listening to podcasts, so that's a big one for me, especially when I walk. But the other one I was thinking, because when you have the stance of keeping curious and we're talking about learning and stretching and growing and understanding, is in my workplace. So I have a leadership team that we're talking about all different cultures, make up my leadership team. So I'm constantly learning and gleaning from them about what's important, how they do things, where they're coming from, the different clients we serve, and just the culture is one of the biggest ways that you learn. Is touching base with different cultures. So that's a great environment for me. Okay, so what do you think curiosity can give us?
Well, I think it's that. I mean, I think one thing Rose said that is that kind of it does help you to open up. I remember that thought that it's almost like you ignite a button. You ignite a light or ignite a fire, light a cooktop.
Like on the gas.
You ask a question, you actually go curious. Something lights up for you.
It does.
So I think it can give this incredible spark, and it stops you from. It's a real pivot point, and I'm kind of only speaking out of my experience because perhaps other people have been less drawn to this than me. I was drawn to probably quite a lot of certainty as a girl. Do you know what I mean? I liked the right answer. I really did. So, you know, someone said to me, what's this? I will absolutely dig down. I will get the right answer and I will produce it.
Is that your competitiveness? Like it's black and white, it's right or wrong, and I want to get it right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And make sure you now know that is the right answer.
That's the right answer. Does everyone know that? Okay, now we're right. Now we can move forward.
And have you learned that there's some limitations to that as well, Kel?
And now I'm kind of like, the little ignition thing happens and I'm like, just don't worry so much. Because I think
with it for
it's
a while,
bit of fear.
huh?
It's a bit of fear because
Unknown.
you don't want to get it wrong. And now it's the acceptance. It's not that there's no rights and wrongs. I don't ascribe to this. There's no absolutes. But golly, there's far less than I thought.
Hallelujah.
Absolutely.
Great.
I've only got a few.
Well, and you think about, we go through so much change in life anyway. Things are constantly transforming and changing, which is why it is important to keep curious, because what we thought was right 5, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, man, some of the things I felt, valued, believed, now I go, oh my gosh. Like I don't.
And now this is why I love the terms now when you think core beliefs, core values, because you don't have to have a value about everything.
No, you don't.
You just don't.
Well,
stay curious
and
open.
keep learning and growing. For me, curiosity is an energy. Like I love the energy that it brings. You said, what does curiosity bring us? Curiosity brings us energy and vitality and youthfulness. It's an open-hearted, open-eyed perspective on the world. And the opposite, that rigidity of saying, if you're not curious, to me, you just think everything you know and think is right.
I know.
I'm done. Zip up. Finish.
Yeah. But you can understand why sometimes people do actually sit in that certainty of a time without wanting to keep curious, because so much of that often is about, that was a really nice era. I loved that time. I felt happy at that time. I want to stay in that time.
I felt right at that time.
I felt
safe
right.
at that
I
time.
didn't feel a fool at that time. I could manage that time.
But rigidity and certainty they're really going to stop you becoming the person that you actually can be and that you want to be. I want to be it for my friends. I want to be it for my children and my grandchildren. That means I just want to be open. I want to be it for the women who I serve in the developing world, that they don't think I come across with this position of, well, I know what's right better for you. Like, how would I have any clue when I'm not having to live in it? And it's been a really beautiful thing. I went back, actually, when you think about how you stay curious, one thing I went back to study when in 2012, like in my 50s, I went back and did a Masters of International and Community Development. And I remember thinking, I'd been already working in this kind of field for probably 15 years. So you would have thought, oh, well, you've got a lot of experience. But you know what? I actually had that knowing, like, I'm coming at this from such a limited position. What about if I just go and discover what else there could be?
Take the blinkers off, enlarge your view. Love it.
You know what? It was the greatest thing that happened. I just opened up and I did a research master's. So I actually did, nearly 3 years living, listening to the women. It was such a wonderful thing to make me realise, boy, there's so much more out there. When you think about how it comes, I think study and because it's a decision more than it's the information.
Oh, the intent of it is actually really good, and I would agree with you, because I went back to study in my mid-40s and 50s. The best thing was actually not just learning with me and on my own, but also with others. So that's what's so great about the academic environments, is they're constantly researching, constantly pushing the boundaries. So you really do learn new. You learn the new. So even though you might be able to practice some of it, you're bringing, good theory and good understanding
latest
research and everything else. And it's just like your eyes just get open to it, because you would know that in your practice too, Rose.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love working with my colleagues and there's a requirement for professional development, but it's just great. Yeah.
It is.
I remember you going back to teach songwriting. And I think this idea of curiosity it must help to stimulate that new when you're watching students too. watching them come up and helping them to discover alternatives here for themselves.
And putting tools in their hand to inform their own process of discovery and curiosity. Because as an artist, everyone will do it slightly differently. That is the beauty of being an artist. You know, you will, I teach, no one has ever sounded like you sound when you speak or sing, because our voice is as unique as our fingerprint. No two voices will ever sound the same. No singing voices will ever sound the same. And when you combine the uniqueness of that with your unique worldview and how you put a phrase together, that is your job as a songwriter. And the beauty in that too is that it takes competition out of it. Even though there's finite spaces in a music industry, yes, as an artist, there is infinite spaces.
Yes.
Whether we're talking visual art, writing, music, songwriting, there is infinite space and there is room for everybody. Your job is to perfect your craft components and then bring that together in your art and give that to the world.
Which is the right way to view it, because I think so often we just think it's a pie, that if you haven't got a piece of that pie, you know, you're missing out of bringing. I know we're kind of getting a little bit, you know, on a different track here, but actually that's not the view. The view is
more of
infinite.
Palette that you can
infinite. This is not like if I haven't got a piece of the pie, or if they come in, they're going to take my piece of the pie in this world.
And that only occurs with commercialisation.
Yeah,
that's the commercialisation of art and of anything and everything, you know. If we didn't have a music industry, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
No, we wouldn't.
So
Okay, so let me ask you, so do you think the opposite of curiosity is certainty? Do we think that's the opposite?
I think it's rigidity.
Okay.
Shut down, not wanting to learn, thinking you know everything.
Yeah, like almost like a piety, like pious, I know better.
And maybe let's just even say arrogance of our own worldview.
And maybe fear.
And
of learning.
I think all they're the things that inform
the why, isn't it?
They all
is the
inform
why.
it. And I just think curiosity it does not mean you have to go along. And I think I was actually thinking about this. Funny enough, I wasn't thinking about this in regards to this topic, but it's been something going in my head for the last probably week. I've been thinking about, what do we go to the internet for? What do we go to the AI for? And so often it's because we just want an answer. And the danger of that is that you're not actually exploring anymore. You're not exploring. It's not that I'm saying that's not a good one source.
It's a tool, isn't it?
It's a tool. If that becomes your sole source, you know, people start to use internet, and Google the question. Like, is that the point? I don't know if you've got to get.
It's just one way potentially
source
to learn. But the challenge of any kind of media now is fake media. That is it's very hard sometimes to pick up the difference between real and not real now.
So curiosity, I reckon, has got to be done in so many different spaces if you're not going to actually get yourself down a rabbit hole where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Where you don't want to be.
And I think what we're saying here is that curiosity can't afford to just be in an online space.
It cannot.
It's got to be in the offline space, in the real world with real people and real things.
And with yourself. Talking to yourself, asking yourself, giving yourself enough time, reflection time, you know, not just filling your world, walking, being with nature, finding things to do, moving. Because I actually think it's a real danger that we will actually lose the creativity of our world if we lose this element of curiosity.
Well, and that is, I don't think we'll lose curiosity. It's where we find it. I think that's the point. So the online world is one, but this, you know, where you're actually face to face with someone is just so important, because in a sense we actually have lost our family and our village. So, you know, once upon a time we would have actually been gleaning from the same people in our village but different generations. We would have had all the generations living in our home. But you would have had 3 generations living in our home. We don't get that now. So we lose the young people's voice. We lose the older person's wisdom.
You would really see that at your work too, wouldn't you?
Oh, hugely.
Elderly people,
isolation is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But don't they say the number one
and the world shrinks
mental
when
health
you don't keep
issue
curious.
We've got is anxiety, and a lot of that anxiety is about being in unknown situations and unknown positions. It's really challenging to remain curious, and because I don't think that's just physical. I'm saying people just end up wanting to not feel that sense of uncertainty, because it can make you feel anxious.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Or even if it's not uncertainty, my mum would say the challenge of keeping curious as you get older is that you realise you can't actually achieve a lot of what you might come across or find out.
Oh, okay.
Well, because you just have to be realistic.
Although
Actually, finite time.
There's a finite time and there's finite capability, or just even
resources.
practically,
Yep.
you know, it's.
Although
it's-
your
you
mum
have- you
does
have-
defy logic when she comes.
she's
defies.
always curious, always
amazing.
trying new things. She's at the moment doing assemblage, which is you assemble pieces of anything and everything to make art, you know, like whatever it is. But anyway, that's what I love about my mum. She, you know, she's listening to the latest people and influences.
How old
and
is your mum?
My mum is now 80, about to be 85.
That's it. And
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And
yeah.
I remember your mum in the last few years. I really think that was one of my funniest moments was when your mum was said to me, "Oh yes, I'm going to ballet."
Yes,
I was like,
yes, she did.
"Okay." So
Yeah,
she went.
last
She
year.
joined a ballet group, and she went and bought all the, leotard and ballet
shoes.
shoes, and off she, And I was just
To a proper
thinking,
ballet studio
Yes,
In her 80s.
in
Yes.
her 80s.
Fabulous. She's also learnt the piano accordion.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
So, okay, so what are we saying about curiosity? So curiosity is important. It's important for us not to actually get stuck, but to keep learning. And it's a challenge in our world today. It really is, because
think it
everything
is.
is changing and transforming anyway. We've
So
got to move
fast.
with it so fast.
I reckon you've got to be a great person at asking questions
Yeah.
of everyone and everything in the world and
Yeah.
yourself. And then you've got to have the space to listen for answers.
Yeah.
And I'm not particularly fabulous at this all the time. So this is one of my skills, but I work on it. I honestly do. If I meet new people, I think to myself, what is it about them? What would they tell me about themselves if I gave them an opportunity to? Not what do you do? Because that question
Yeah,
is
no,
so
it's-
limiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thinking of great questions like what do you
When
love
you meet
to
a
do?
new person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of our questions is often, what do you love to do? What we really love. I tell you what, when someone starts talking about what they love to do, it's a completely different conversation.
Awesome.
It can be a confronting question. Can be a very confronting question, because I can think of people, if I ask that question of, they might go,
They may.
well, I'm in the trenches right now with this, and actually I don't feel like I'm doing anything I love to do.
That's not what you're doing you love. What would you love to do?
No, what
do
would
you
you
love
love
to
to
do?
do? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You mightn't be getting a chance to do it right now.
But I agree, don't make it about what you do. So what do
No.
what do your days look like?
That's one question you ask, isn't
Yeah,
it?
often. Yeah. I don't make it about work. Definitely not.
Well, I'd be more, what do you love, or what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun? And if someone was in the trenches and says, there's no time for that, I'd immediately step into a therapeutic conversation. And go, well, can we look at that? Even if it's 5 minutes, you got to do something to fill the well.
Yes.
We've all been in the trenches with kids. I know people I know people right now that have got, 6 kids and kids with special needs, and,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's, and you've got to find a little capsule of time and space that is just for you, that nourishes your well and fills you up.
Most people, if you say something to them, what do you love to do, or you start to have that kind of conversation, I think most of us rise to that. Like, there's something about someone truly being curious about what you love. I tell you, one of the most difficult things is when you come back from travelling like I do, developing world, you see things that are really impacting. And I've heard many people say this, and then you meet someone and they don't want to know about it. They just don't want to know.
Because they're in their comfortable world.
They just don't. I think it's because they feel that
Well,
you're
they've got to
gonna
carry it. They've
yeah,
got to carry
they don't
it.
want to know. And it's always like, I don't want to give you anything. I have no burden to pass on. I actually get a lot of joy out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've got to bring this conversation to a close. But I think, I'm so sorry. But I think there is
Lots
a
more to
sense
say,
around
yeah.
there's a sense around the kin table that curiosity is a powerful force for life and goodness and energy that is available to all of us every day. It's that tap on the shoulder that says, take a look over there. I love this.
Yeah.
So thank you, Rose.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Kelley.
Beautiful.
Next time, I'm going to interview Amanda Vivieres, creative manager for well over 25 years. Brand is her brilliance, and public relations, a great friend and co-founder of Kinwomen. Until next time, you are our kin. Join us for more conversations. Follow our podcast and socials. Thanks to Mark Ralph from Elemental Sound, sound engineer Dylan Volkelman, and producer Natalie Kellner from Mindful Marketing. Thank you for joining the Kinwomen ALOUD conversation. This podcast is written and directed by the Kinwomen team, recorded at Elemental Sound in Perth, with sound engineering by Dylan Volkelman and production by Natalie Kellner from Mindful Marketing. Don't miss our next chat. Follow us. See you then.